you have a good straight ankle, obviously. Killed it at that tournament. We can also make it better. We can always make it better. So, you go doing straight ankles today? Okay. All right, we'll do that today. We'll start off with our Ashi drills to warm up. A lot of straight ankles come from most straight ankles come from Ashi. We'll do another straight ankle defense drill, and then we'll get into the actual technique today. If you guys have seen me teach straight ankles, it's the same stuff I've taught before, but again, it's one of those things you want to keep repping, keep working at, getting better. This is something that you'll rep and work your entire life. It's something that'll be effective at black belt. It's how I hit my straight ankles at black belt against black belts, so it's still effective through your entire career. All right, guys, let's go and get started with our Ashi drills. Come here, Ryan. So for those of you that are that are unfamiliar with these, what we're gonna do, actually sit out for me real quick. All the way down your butt. So Ashi, this is a basic leg entanglement. So Wednesday mornings are always leg locks. This is a basic leg entanglement. This is the easiest position to enter into for legs, but it's also the easiest position for him to escape from legs. So it's like, again, it's your basic. It's kind of like where your white belts start off with legs, but it's finishable at black belt level. So Ashi, we have one leg across our thigh. We've got a leg going up and behind, foot on the hip, pinching our knees together. The goal here is to have our knee touch our calf. All right? Yeah. So the goal here is to have our knee touch our calf. So the Ashi drill is basically just the same thing, but up in the air. So I'm gonna have him standing over my chest. I'm gonna shoot my hips up into this Ashi position. I'm gonna go back and forth. So I'm gonna stop at the center, go to the other side, rotate for me. Whenever we're doing this, and I'm shooting my hips up, again, I'm shooting my hips up, like a reverse sit-up. So I'm shooting my hips up, heel is on the hip, toes pointed out, pinching my knees together when I think about my knee touching my calf, foot's behind the butt, and I'm squeezing. I can just hold on just like this. You can feel some pressure on his thigh. I want to make sure that knee line is in. I want to be able to see his knee. I don't want to be down here where the knee is out. So knee line in, and I'm going back and forth. When I go back and forth, I'm taking this knee to this thigh. This first step. Coming down, the knee is staying in. This is my knee shield, that's for defense. Bring my other knee in, and then transitioning to the other side. The reason I'm doing this is I want my knee on the inside the entire time. I want to keep this knee shield for defense. If I'm doing this right here, then really all he has to do is sit down in the mount, right? We're not gonna do that in competitions, we're not gonna do that in training either. So I want my knees in, at least one at all time to protect myself from getting mounted. Going back and forth. Any questions? I know we've all done that. All right, 1, 2, 3.
Ryan, check your earrings up real quick.
Yep. Izzy, you want to take your earrings out?
That's exactly what I was in the middle of doing.
So watch Ryan, and I'll help walk you through, okay? And begin. Biggest thing for you is make sure your chest is. See how you're getting down to your hips. Run it. Make sure your chest is in his hips. That'll make it a lot easier. Much better. Ten seconds. Down, switch top to bottom.
Yeah, I think I really want to. So first, I'm going to be up here.
And go. And then hands. You just kind of cut the outside of his knee. Now, kick this right leg straight through. Nope, everything back. So kick it back straight through. And right foot just a little bit. Good. Yep, exactly. Foot right there. This knee's going to come. Pinch his thigh. You want to shoot your hips up. And your goal is to not push it backwards. Your goal is just kind of climb up this leg. But that's pretty good. All right, now go back to the center. So knee there. Oh, good. Now kick that leg through. And Ryan, come back forward. So Izzy, you want to stay deep underneath him. So you want him kind of forward on your chest, and you don't want to slide your body out. You want to stay down. Good. Toes out. Pinch. That's it, man. Yeah. Now go to the other side. See how you're kind of squeezing that work? So you're down. You want to keep him. Yeah, very good. Let's see it. Foot back. Good. The position you went to was called DOA, which is a position just not what we're doing today.
My bad, bro. Keep doing you.
No, it's okay. No, it's fine. Foot stays in. Back. Good. Very good. That's Ashi.
Whatever side you're going to.
Time. All right, we'll do a quick straight ankle defense drill, and then we'll get into straight ankle offense. All right. What we're gonna do here, actually, you go here back. Actually, no, stand back up for it. So most straight ankles, not all, but most straight ankles are gonna happen if he's attacking same side foot that his arm is. So most straight ankles will be like the right arm gripping my left leg. It's on the same side of the body, right? Sometimes you'll see a cross-body straight ankle, not very often though. So most of the straight ankles you're gonna see are gonna be just like this. The drill we're gonna do is, think of it like he is going to sit back for a straight ankle. Like we're in half guard or something, and I've got my foot up and he catches my foot real quick, and he wants to sit back in a straight ankle. I want to prevent that from happening, all right? That's one of the most common injuries you'll see as a white belt, is people try to attack a straight ankle from top. Before they can sit back in a secure position, we want to kick out of it. So the drill is, we're going to be kind of on our back on our side. He's going to attack that foot. Before he can get down and sit back into it, what I want to do is I want to kick off his chest with my other leg. I'm going to spin my heel to the inside and out. When I do that, he's going to attack the other foot. Then I'm going to kick off his chest, spin my heel to the inside and out. He's going to grab the other foot. Kick off his chest, spin my heel to the inside and out. The reason I'm spinning my heel to the inside is on a straight ankle, he typically wants my heel in the crook of his elbow, unlike a heel hook, right, where you don't want that. In a straight ankle, he typically wants my heel in the crook of his elbow. He's putting pressure on my Achilles, he's putting a lot of pressure, and then we'll talk more about position here later. So oftentimes he'll want that position. So what I will do is I will turn my heel to the inside and it just pokes right out. And I'll do that, keep the other foot. So I'm gonna kick off his chest, turn my heel to the inside, exactly. So this is a drill. And we're just gonna go back and forth, kicking ourselves out. Any questions?
Just one. In a roll, how would you prevent him from just re-grabbing your foot like that?
Strap your foot. I also kick higher on the chest. So if I'm kicking out, I'm kicking up here on my shoulder almost. But as soon as I do that, pull my foot back. Good question. And also, yeah, I heard you mention hips. That's right. So we are rotating side to side on our hip. So as I'm kicking, I'm rotating to that hip. Okay. He's going to grab that foot, and he's only grabbing his foot because I'm literally leaving my foot extended for him to do so. Right? If this was actually an actual roll, I would not be leaving my foot to do that. And now I'm kicking, rotating. Okay. Any questions? All right. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you'll grab. Yep. And begin.
Yeah.
And you can kick and rotate or rotate and kick, either one. And realistically, in a match, you can do exactly
Also communicate it faster.
kind of a
Keep dropping fast.
frantic kick and roll. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's the drill. Time, switch top to bottom. And begin. Good job, hope you're looking good. Get a deeper grip on getting just so it's a little more lifted. Good. So, one second. So, turn your heel in, so your heel out. When you kick, you turn your heel in. So, let's see it again. So, kick his chest. And then turn your heel in. Yep. Then turn your heel in.
What's the direction?
Put your foot back in. You want to turn your heel like down and in towards the rib. No, the other way. That's how the other way. Yes, that's what you want to do. Yep, just like that. Yeah, that's what you're saying, buddy.
You were both on the ground and someone was.
Keep going, guys. Say it again.
You were on the ground. You were both on the ground and someone was doing it.
If they have any single two legs, you could. Yeah. So show me what you mean.
So if you were gonna straight in. So I know like mine was that, but yeah, but also
You have absolutely. Yep. You can kick on the shoulder. Yep. And turn the heel in. Yeah, absolutely. And that's actually what I'll do is first I'll push the foot
sometimes I feel like
down.
I'm in this battle where I funk away, but it's like
So first I'll push the foot down, scoot over, still on top of the foot, and then kick and turn your heel in. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, you gotta kick with it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Swing time, top to bottom. Say it again.
no, yeah, that's when I asked my first question.
Okay. A little bit higher, so you can see your finger getting tangled up in his arms. Yep.
Yeah, it's like, that's what it just feels like coming this way, it's good with it. It just feels like I'm just not making progress.
Feels like what, Kevin?
Like when I'm with someone that's good at those, defending them, but I'm not making progress. But I think that kick motion I was missing.
You're trying to defend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that. You push, pull, kick, push, pull, good, but.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the more important part of that is getting that heel off your
Yeah.
scooting and sitting on top of their foot and preventing it from falling down and blocking you, and then you can extract your foot. Yep. That's fine. Ideally, you push one of the shoulder that's gripping because that you've got that same side that you're pushing back and pulling the same side. But it's different that foot's holding by your wrist. Time, switch top to bottom, last round.
Yeah. So I'm sure we're gonna go over that. The actual mechanics to how you should be holding. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah, because we're doing it real quick. We're not really getting everything in the perfect position.
Yeah, this is more of a reaction drill, so if someone's trying to straight ankle you, this is a quick reaction drill where you're trying to prevent them from sitting down and locking you out.
Gotcha. Flatten it up, grabbing something. Okay. So then when I'm here, so if I'm really getting something big on me, feel how like just pull your leg out, try moving your foot. You're pretty well locked in. So then do like you showed, twist the ankle, kick off. There you go. Yeah, yeah. You're pulling out there.
So would you want to just
To really shift your hip.
shoulder? Is that primarily?
That's gonna turn your ankle.
All right, let's talk about offense. So again, the purpose of that was a quick reaction drill where if Gideon and I, we're in a match, right, and I make the mistake of putting my foot up high and I stay in this position. So we're in this seated, this open guard position, the supine position, right, this open guard position. And a lot of times people will have their feet out here, but sometimes people get their feet a little bit too high, and he's going to lock up, he's going to sit down and go sit guard for me, or sit in the ashi. Yep, so he's going to sit in the ashi for me. That's actually what we're about to cover on the offensive side. On the defensive side, the quick reaction is as soon as they get that foot, bam, you kick out of it. You don't even let them sit down into it. So let's talk about the offense. Back. So this is I would say probably the most common way to enter ashi is when someone is in standing open guard or even in a half guard position. Like I'm down like this and they've got this foot up high and I start to attack this foot. But from a standing open guard position is a very common way to enter ashi. It's a very easy way to enter ashi. And we often do that when the foot is up mid-thigh or higher, especially this hip or higher. And especially at the white blue belt levels, we'll see people make that mistake. At the upper belts, you don't see that quite as often, in which case you have to bring their foot up. So in this, the example for today, he's going to be on his back, he's going to be having his feet up here in some sort of like defensive guard position, and I'm going to attack one of the feet, all right? So let's just say I've got him completely on his back in this open guard position. I'm controlling his feet. I want to grab the Achilles, I want to step in behind his butt, kind of on the same side I'm attacking. So if I'm going to attack the leg on this side, I'm stepping and putting my foot on that side for the initial entry. So I'm stepping in, cupping the Achilles, cupping the top of the knee. My back leg is going straight to his hip, okay? I'm going straight to his hip, and I'm going to lock up the grip. What I'm not doing is going here first, getting my grip, sitting down, and then putting my foot up, which is what most people do on mistake. That's one extra step that is not necessary. If I can avoid having to make yet another adjustment, that's my goal. So what we're doing here is we've got him on his back. I'm going to catch his feet. I'm going to step in to the side that I'm attacking. Cup the top of his knee. The reason I'm cupping the top of his knee is I don't want him to extract his leg. If I've got this grip, it's easier for me to hold his leg. If I don't have this grip, it's easier for him to pull back, to kick off, and get this back before I can even get my grip. So I'm stepping in the same side, so my foot's poking out, cupping the top of the knee, and I'm leaning forward, and what I'll actually do is I'll put my shin, so I'm going to put it right in the balls. That's just part of it. Built to deal with it, right, Gideon? So I'm actually leaning forward, putting my shin. The goal is on the inner thigh, but so you get surgery, so I'll be nice to you.
That's long heel.
Mine's not. I don't know if I agree with it. Mine's not that long out.
Emotional scars last long.
Yeah, no, right. So my goal is really I'm putting my shin behind his thigh and I'm driving his knee forward because I want the leg bent and I want to get a little bit higher because I am stepping up and putting my foot. But realistically, it happens quite often when I go straight in the balls. I mean, again, it is what it is. Ref didn't see it, it's fine. So I'm leaning forward, cupping the knee, stepping, and as I'm stepping, I'm pulling this up into my armpit, and I'm getting my grip. I'm going to adjust my grip once I hit the mat, but I still want to get a fairly deep grip while I can until I go down. Now from here, the adjustment I want to make, I'm going to get my grip. I can do an S grip, I can do a gable grip, I can do a figure 4 grip. There's all sorts of different grip options. But the important thing here is I want to get deep on this foot. All right, when I say deep on this foot, I'm going to think about replacing my elbow with my shoulder. So if I've landed right here, my elbow's right there, I want my shoulder to go right there. So the finish isn't just leaning onto my shoulder, the finish is really curling my elbow back and putting my shoulder where my elbow was, all right? That's gonna be all the difference when you're trying to finish a straight ankle. If all I do instead is lean out, for one, I'm extending his leg, which is what he wants to help him defend, but I'm also just not getting a good tight grip on that foot. Another thing I want to think about is if I can see his toes back here, I'm too high on the calf. I want to be down behind his Achilles. I don't want to be up here on his calf. So if I can see his toes, like I can see these toes right here, I'm way too high on his leg. I'm going to be down lower. This motion we're talking about, where we're lifting up, scooting in, and dropping our elbow dropping our shoulder where our elbow was, is helping us get a better position lower on the foot at the same time. So just kind of recap this. We've got a loose grip once we initially come down. We want to tighten that grip up. We want to tighten it up by literally leaning forward, curling in, dropping our shoulder where our elbow was. Now, once we're in this position, the finish is I'm going to look up and away. Another common mistake people do with straight ankles is they're looking at their opponent. You tapping yet? You tapping yet? You tapping yet? I don't want to be looking at my opponent. I want to be looking up and away towards that wall. So here we go. This is the move. We're in this position. Step for me. A way to get him here maybe is I'm grabbing both Achilles. I'm pulling him back. We're going to go and start back though, just for today's purposes. I'm cupping the Achilles. I'm stepping in to the same side. I'm attacking. I'm cupping the knee. Foot goes straight to the hip. I get a decent grip starting off, and I fall back. Once I'm here, I lock up my grip, whether it's an S grip, gable grip. I don't know the name of this grip, but you can put your kind of the side of your hand in your cup your palm. I can do a figure 4. All those are good options, but the most important thing is that I then curl my elbow in, drop my shoulder where my elbow was, and I should look up towards the wall. Our ultimate goal is belly down. We're not going to cover that today, but our ultimate goal is to get our belly facing down. So think about that concept. If I'm trying to finish a straight ankle with my belly up, I'm far away from my ultimate goal of going belly down. So everything I'm doing is with that goal of getting closer to going belly down. So here, I'm belly up, horrible. Here, my belly's straight to the side, which is better. Here, I'm getting closer to going completely down. All right? How do you feel just by that adjustment? Good? No. And I'm not even attacking. I'm literally going from side of this to this.
His face says it all. I just love the thumbs.
Really
up.
tight.
One more comment on this, and then we'll get a bunch of reps in. I also want to think about when I'm finishing a straight ankle, is I'm not just putting the foot straight down, which is what most people do as they're learning the straight ankle, even at higher levels when they're not very good at them, is they think I'm just going to crank straight down. I want to bring the foot in when I'm trying to hit my finish. So I'm not just going down, I'm actually bringing the foot into the side. That helps limit the mobility, so when you try to make your break, they've got less room, they're less flexible. You've got this, whereas now you've got this. Alright? So you're gonna bring it in, and that motion we talked about where we tuck the elbow in helps with that. Look up. Alright, any questions about the straight ankle? I know there's a whole lot to cover, but I'll be coming around, I'll be helping you out through each step. The key thing to remember of all of that, I would say the key adjustment, especially if you go a little better at straight ankles already, the key thing to remember is that concept of replacing your elbow with your shoulder. That's the big difference. And then look it up. All right, let's rep it out. 1, 2, 3. That looked good, but your left hand was controlling this foot. Yeah. That's for sure. Yeah, pause.
Are we switching each other? Just keep.
Okay. Now go. Yep. Look away. Do a 3-inch switch. Look away. Good. Same side. Good. Pull your right elbow. Now good. Now I want you to replace your elbow with your shoulder. Yep. Good. Finish your grip. Yep. Good. Now I want you to look adjusted. Bridge in. Good. Look pretty good.
Yeah. Let's do safety one attack. Okay.
Alright, so cup his Achilles with your right hand. Good. Cup his knee with your left hand. Good. Now the next move is as you're going to lift this up and put it in your pocket, you're going to take your right foot all the way to where it is, all the way to his hip. And then you're going to sit down. Yep. And then toes out.
So you're just balancing on this one.
Just lean forward on your shin, this side. Yep. And then just, yep, that's fine. Just kind of sit down.
I just cut that there.
Good. And more reps, you'll get better. It's okay. Just practice. Now, in this position, think about butts and butts. See this space right here? Scoot your butt closer to his. Yes, that's exactly right. Now, this heel goes on his hip and toes point out. If you start to point your toes in, you're going to start doing what's called leaping. If you try this, you're going to get disqualified. Toes pointed out. Hit your knees. Good. Reach around. Good. And get closer to his Achilles, his ankle. See how high you're on his calf. It's down low. Down there. Yep. Now, be on your right shoulder, right hip. Yep. Now, see your elbows right here. I want you to think about putting your shoulder where your elbow is. Very good. That's good. Now, look at the wall. Back there. Put belly down and bridge into his hip. So look at the wall and kind of bridge into his foot. It's pretty good. Yeah. Now pause real quick. See your hands down here by your waist. The only thing I would recommend you do different is think about having your hand up by your pec. Look up, do like an uppercut. That's better. Yep. Then replace your elbow with your shoulder. Yep. Good. Now look at the wall. Cinch knees, look at the wall, and bridge into his foot. That's it. Good. Good. Much better, man.
I was going to say, keep going on.
Put your hand up, put an uppercut, and your hand on your chest. Start with because once it's there, it's hard. So start with the initial grip.
The initial grip should
Set it here.
Yep, scoop out all the way also see space between right here and you don't set
So you're just going to kind of let yourself down on your left leg while you're just kind of curling it under. Just sit, yeah. Pause. And then just get
pretty good.
You're going on to that
I see
side.
space right here. I see space right there.
Yeah.
You also did
Go back.
this. You also
So go back to this point when you've got this real loose.
think about
So at this point when you're
think about
you're tightening this and getting this, this is when you want to shoot this towards your pec. Because
yes, that is it. Now look at the wall, look away, that is it.
that's what you do.
That will take your training.
Keep this real tight.
And you can do it. I know you can.
And then from there, yeah. And now you want to, there you go.
See that fall?
Yes, look at the wall.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's true.
Yeah.
We get a bunch of reps of this then, guys.
Yes, sir.
Good.
So,
see your fingers here by your belly. I want you to think about having your exactly. Oh, what you got, Dave?
How did it fall for real? I feel like my fingers fall that like this. When I
So
grab
now part of it also is your butt's getting real far away. Because what I want to do is
When I fall, what I'm doing is I'm collapsing my butt to my tight. I'm not
yeah.
I'm collapsing my butt to my heel and I'm falling to my side. So I'll show you real
So
quick.
remember, you want your belly down.
So I'm grabbing this.
So when you just leaned back right there, you just looked up, and it kind of relieved all the.
I'm falling to my side and I'm collapsing my butt to my heel. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And then you start looking over your right shoulder.
Hi.
That ball was good.
Good adjustment away.
Yep.
Pause real quick. Now see how your hands down your belly? See all the space? Yeah, good. And now you're out of calf. So good adjustment. Now, yes, there you go. Good. Good. Your chest, good. Now replace your elbow with your shoulder. Put your shoulder right there. Good. Look at the wall. Good. Pinch your knees. Good. Finish your last rep. Beautiful, Tom. That looked good. Very good.
That was a little bit better.
It's hard not to slow. It really does feel like
I'm gonna give you guys one quick tip. We're gonna go back to it, okay? Here, get in. One thing I'm seeing is the gripping hand. Is I'm seeing space in between the elbow and the armpit on that foot. So what I mean is, when I'm seeing people with this grip, I can see light right here. We do not want to see light right here. What that typically corresponds with is the hand down by the belly. All right. We want the hand up by the chest. That helps close that space. Also helps make a tighter grip. So think about an uppercut, and if you find yourself where your hand is down here by your belly, if you find yourself trying to finish it, and your hand's down here by your belly, by your waistline, you're not doing it right. Okay, just plain and simple, you're not doing it right. Now, can you finish it this way? Yeah, you can finish it this way. Against anybody good who's got good defense, very unlikely. So what I want you to do instead is the initial grip. The initial grip that you get, I want you to think about doing a big uppercut and cupping your chest. So if you can get your hand up to your pec, the closer the better. So start with it up there, then get your grip. But if for some reason you're down low initially, whenever you do your adjustment where you lean forward or lift up, tuck your elbow in and drop your shoulder, I want you to think about doing an uppercut and getting that hand up to your chest. Not down here by your belly. Again, you can still finish it by your belly, but it is not as effective as it is up here by your chest. What you got, Nathan?
I feel like I lose that grip that you're talking about when it goes down low, when
Yep.
I fall. So when's the best time to get that grip all good together? Before I fall, or as I fall, or after?
So 2 times that you're thinking about making that adjustment. The first is the initial grip. You're getting that initial grip. And the reason I talked about putting your shin in the back of your thigh, even the balls if it happens to be there, but it's to get that grip better initially. It's to bend their knee in, to get in closer, and to get this deep grip. So like in an actual competition, I'm kind of crushing in for a quick second on this guy, getting my grip, and then I'm pulling back, and notice I've already got it on my pec. So the initial grip, I'm trying to get as deep as I can, but then the next adjustment I'm going to make is whenever I do this right here. So if I've got it down low, and I tuck my elbow in, replace with my shoulder, that's when I'm also trying to do this uppercut motion. So it's an uppercut. Think about it like Judy calls it rocking the baby. It's also like an uppercut. So I'm taking my elbow right like this. Make sense?
Yes.
All right, let's get some more reps in. 1, 2, 3. We're not going to do a lot of rolling today just because half the class is competing. We don't need any last minute injuries. So we'll try and get some more reps in. We'll do a few rounds of rolling if you guys want to. Nice.
Yep.
I hit pop. That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Now just remember to look down, get as much as you can. Sure. That's real tight. Now if you start looking over your right shoulder, yeah, that's real good.
See your hands by your belly? Because whenever you went down, you didn't have the grip. You smacked the mat to brace your fall. Right? Don't brace your fall. Just let her get on your shoulder. Yeah, and yes, definitely be careful with your partner.
Yep.
Look at the wall, Kevin. Yeah, you kind of lost your position. See a little bit out.
There you
There you go.
It's too high.
How'd that feel there?
So that's even higher. Because I can see my fingers there. Yeah. So there now, that's the right depth. Now get this up higher. There. Yeah, that's real tight right there. So when you start going down and looking behind, yeah, that's
That looked good, didn't it?
No.
Yeah, look at. Sometimes I don't, just don't know what I had. By my belly.
Yes, very well, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Boom, that's the adjustment you make. That's a lot better.
I saw his eyes. Right in my head.
No, I don't compete.
You don't compete?
46 years old. Done.
Reject the shit, bro. Dude.
No. So the initial step in this year, I think part of it over here, and then you're trying to get this, like balance, and I think that's real hard. So
Hands by your belly.
if you
So everything was good until you got that grip in your grip.
lie in,
But whenever you get that grip, see how far you want to how high is that? Get that grip lower on his ankle. That way you've got less space to make you look at your chest.
Just like that.
That's what I did. That one. Look away. Look away. Two hands. I think he was looking away. Boom. Good. No, that looked good. That looked real good. Let's see it again. Yeah, the initial grip.
It's like I would have walked around with it. Like, bounce fingers.
am I getting it right?
Yeah, that one you got really high. This is okay. This ain't going around.
Oh, okay.
Look away. Good.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Look good.
Yeah. So I don't know.
You're a little high. Nope. It's even higher. Yeah. Yeah. There. Yeah. That's real tight.
Yep, that adjustment you made
So-
when you put your arm out from heaven, right?
Then you
That was
focus
a very
on-
good adjustment.
You get all this stuff real tight and locked in. And then you want to get that shoulder down. That's real tight. And then that's real tight. Yeah, that was good.
Yep. Nice. Good.
I think the pressure there, what got me the most.
Good.
Right there, yeah. That'll sometimes more than the ankle.
Keep that tight.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Where your hands at.
It's like, I don't think my bones are there, 'cause like my kidney.
There you go.
Is that as you start to bridge in, you left your hand down.
Okay.
Keep it up. Yep. Yep. Everything else is fine.
Yeah, I think you had too much my foot. I had too much of your ankle went on your foot.
Yeah.
Too high on the ankle. Yeah. Yep. There you go. Nice. There you go. That's real tight. Right there.
So pause.
So
See how your chest and belly are looking up? Think about. I know, right?
because your grip's tight. Your grip is good.
Also on this right hand, think about the blade of your wrist. I think this last one you kind of had your palm up a little bit, had a little bit of odd grip. Think about the blade of the wrist being into his Achilles because that's the pain point because that blade is digging right in.
Yeah. I think you're a little high.
On the calf?
Yes. There you go. Yeah. There we go. You feel that? There you go.
Thanks.
Nice. That looks real good.
It was just a nudge. Yo.
That was right there. Good.
You guys take the mic.
So it's just a little high on the cap here. You can slide back just a yeah. Down.
So try to get your right hand underneath your left. You had it reversed. Yeah, there you go.
You want me to try to put the other one?
You can whatever's best for you. I mean, if you want to try one over here, you can.
Oh, I've been trying to.
So it gets real confusing after that. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Finish your last rep.
Punch this through. See how low it's on your belly?
Yeah.
There you go. And now, but when you do this, a little bit, so slide back just a little bit. There. That's it. And this is where you're rolling your wrist this way. So, this way is bad. This way is bad. This
Alright, quick in. Bring it on in. Alright, so we have a competition on Saturday, half the class is competing. If you guys want to roll, you can start rolling. So we'll do this. If you want to roll, you can go ahead over to this half of the mat. I'll start the timer. For those of you that want to keep drilling, day one for you, we're going to keep drilling. Anyone else that wants to keep drilling, come on this half of the mat. I'm going to show the full-on belly down straight ankle. So if someone defends by pushing the foot down, scooting out, which is the common defense, I'm going to show you how to continue to counter that and go to a belly down straight ankle. So if you guys want, head on down there. Otherwise, come on over here for continued instruction. Either do you want to roll or do you want to do more instruction?
I'm looking to see where people fall. Because I'm not competing, so I'll be where.
Justin wants to roll. Who wants to roll down to Justin?
I'll make it an even 4.
You want to roll? Yeah. Kevin, you have to roll it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, you want to stay? All right, great. Be my Uki. Yeah. So, also, I saw Tom doing this a minute ago, which is a very good way of making an adjustment. Ideally, you wouldn't have to make an adjustment because you get a good grip in the first place, and you have the one adjustment where you replace the shoulder with the elbow. But it doesn't always happen that way, right? Sometimes you don't get a good grip because in the heat of the battle, you've got to make an adjustment. So the adjustment Tom was making was something that Evan showed, which is a very good way of making an adjustment. So let's say I'm down here and my hands on my belly, I just don't have a really tight position. You can reach under with this arm, and what this does is this helps keep the bend in the leg, all right? What he wants to do is straighten his leg, and he can do different things to make it difficult for me to finish a straight ankle. By putting this arm under, this helps keep the bend in this leg, helps prevent him from defending how he typically would. So it's a great way to stay tight, it's a great way to keep the bend in the leg, and then I can get deeper and continue making my attack. So just think about that as you're in this position. Reach through with the opposite arm, get deeper, bring this arm back out, and then start to continue to attack. So let's talk about going with switch sides. My ribs are popped on that side. So let's talk about a full-on belly down straight ankle. So here we are, we've got a good grip, we're attacking, we think we've got this, we replace our elbow with our shoulder, and then he defends properly. His proper defense, for the most part, he's gonna push my foot down, and he's gonna sit on top of my foot. He's gonna start to scoot out, all right? So this is a good defense for him. What I wanna do to follow him is my inside leg, I wanna bring it across his body, and I wanna bring it down to the mat, and I'm gonna pin my hips. I'm almost gonna shin staple. I am gonna shin staple. Shin staple is where my toes are touching one side, my knees touching the other side of the mat, and my shin is across a thigh, a leg, and whatever. So I'm gonna shin staple that inner thigh, and now I'm gonna continue my finish. So the way this looks live is here we are, he's gonna defend, he's gonna scoot out. I'm gonna follow him, and then I'm going to continue to look away and get my finish. He's gonna push my foot down, he's gonna scoot out, I'm gonna follow him, shin staple that thigh, I'm gonna look away and bridge into his foot.
Yeah, because his defense is just continue to roll.
Oftentimes if they roll, they're fine. That's what most people do. What most people do will roll belly down themselves. It's really bad news if he rolls. Yes. His defense is to prevent my knee from getting over in the first place. Actually, you wanna bring your right leg or right hand in. His defense is to prevent my leg from going over. I'll show you. Attack me. So the defense that he wants to do, let's say I push his foot down, I sit across. What I want to do is I can actually cup it inside right here. I want to prevent this knee from getting to the mat. So his defense is just stopping it in the first place. Once he does that, once I do that, I can bring his foot in and I can get him to play and start to kick off. In which case he can then switch to the other side. But my defense is to cup it, pull in tight, keep that leg out and open, Don't let it go across my thigh. All right. So one more time. Next step in this. We've got our finish. He's going to push the foot down. He's going to sit out. As he sits out, I'm going to use I'm using my elbow and my leg to kind of like lift myself up. I'm just sliding my knee across, shin stapling, and I'm continuing this motion. I'm looking away and bridging into his foot. If he goes belly down, it's definitely game over. It's a little awkward to finish. If he stays where he is right now, it takes a little more pressure because I'm kind of going into the side of his leg. So it's a little more difficult, but it's definitely doable. If he goes full on belly down, go and roll, oh, it's game over. Hands down, game over. When I'm doing this though, just like the finish a moment ago, I'm not looking at him, right? So I'm not sitting here looking at him, I am looking away. Any questions? Let's rep it out. 1, 2, 3. Time. Switch partners.
Thanks, brother. It's good. Unless you want to go first. Which way?
So your
2 more rounds.
is going to be to push those toes down.
Don't look at him, Tom. Look away.
Because
Drop
that's
those
going to
hips
be
into his legs.
stopping me
Yeah,
from
good.
bringing it back up.
Pancake.
Because if you just shove it down, I'm going to keep it back up. So if you push it down and sit on it, then I'm going to follow.
Yep, exactly right. Yep. Close your grip, 2 hands. And then look at me. Yep, good. Pretty good. Try and go all the way belly down. Like square your shoulders up to your mat. Good. And then look at me and bridge down into his foot. So I think you're a little deep on it. Yeah, so your hand here. See your hand was down here. Your hand was up here. So your elbow was down here, but your hand was up here. So try and get it down. Your hand's still by your belly. So if you can have your hand
Get a beat up on the new time.
okay. You're going to roll with him, Tom. Just to do that. See it again. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Tight there.
The only thing I'll say is you're real high on the belly. Really need that hand over your chest.
Much
As much as you can. And part of that is just get deep.
now
Part of that is bringing the arm in, making the adjustment here, or replacing your elbow.
Drag this knee across. Put your hips.
Yes, that's
So drag this knee over.
Yeah. No. Just drag it. And like put this knee to the ground while keeping your toes on that side.
So go ahead and make your adjustment first.
So now I can already feel.
Replace your
Yeah, I can feel that when you start to look away and go that way.
Yeah, there, exactly
That's
right.
gonna-
Say your hand was up closer to his calf, went down low, which that's much better. Now you can get your grip. Replace your elbow with your shoulder. Nope, get your grip. I mean, like, yep, good. Replace your elbow with your shoulder. Go back. Lift your elbow up. Yeah, there you go. Good. Now he's going to go belly down. Now you're going to look up that. There you go. Good. Good. That's better. That look good. There you go. It's hard to look real tight. Say it again. Yeah, just take the reps. Just more reps. The more you do it, the more muscle memory you'll get there. That one was
Oh, no, you're good.
Just
Prior.
start to hip down.
Yeah, my first BCJ comp, I didn't know what I was doing.
And then pause. Well, notice how your hand's down here by your waist. And try to keep your hand up on your chest if you can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was sliding out. Yeah, makes sense.
Tom, did you see you're the face of my recent poster?
Really?
Yes, you are. I'll show it to you before we get out of here.
No way.
You made it.
Dude, my wife's gonna be so proud.
Yes. I'll send you this picture.
Punch it up. There. Now that's real tight. Keep it.
And Tom, look at me.
Then
Yes, belly down, good.
then cross. And start to look up.
Your frames are good, man. Always have a little bit for a
So Ryan looked pretty good, but look that way.
More.
Yep. Nice adjustment. Finish your last rep. Good job, Ryan. That looked good. All right. Sorry, go ahead, Casey. See your hands by your belly.
Yeah.
Start back over. Okay. Swallow your rep it. Now see how deep you are. See how you can see his toes? Yeah, good. Yeah, that is much better. That's a good position. That's what you want every single time. That's a lot better. Alright, clear time. So you can also force the roll. If you're trying to go belly down, and this is what I originally learned this method from Joe Bays, where we force the roll and we want to go belly down. We want them belly down as well because it is just a nasty position to be in. Pull your thumb. So in this case, I want to do this before they have a chance to push my foot off and start to escape. Alright? Because once they push my foot off and they start to sit over, then I'm countering what they're countering. But if I can lead the dance, anytime I can lead the dance, it's much more, it's much better for me. So in this case, before they get a chance, I'm taking my free arm, and I'm less worried about the hand being on my belly here. I still want to be nice, tight enough, but I'm less worried about it. I'm taking this free arm, and I'm literally throwing this free arm over, and you're gonna roll with me because you know it's gonna hurt. And I'm forcing them to roll with me. Now from here I can finish it one arm going down straight ankle. Alright? So I just sat down in this position. I can have some sort of grip just to hold right. But I'm taking this free arm before they have a chance to get that, to push that foot down. I'm taking this free arm, I'm throwing it up and over, and I'm using my foot to pull it with me. Hipping in, full on belly down straight ankle. So one more time. Using this hand to throw myself up over, using the other leg to help drag them along. If they don't, it's pretty painful on their ankle. They typically want to roll, but over. Any questions? Let's get a few reps of that in, we'll be done for the day. 1, 2, 3.
Either one.
Nice. This is if you got forceful. Nice. Nice. Good.
Is it tightening up?
It's the first one is tied down. I think we rolled it over a little too much.
Oh,
That makes
okay.
sense.
Yep.
That's pretty good, Ryan.
That.
Combo to keep my foot straight, booted.
Yeah, you are going to want to clench your quads, extend your leg, keep a strong boost. So that's what you would want to do as a first step. Making a strong tactic.
You get that
Then you're
arm.
going to second. So
It's real high there. There you go. Now. So from right here, use your arm, use some momentum. So real slow. Here,
Guys,
got that. Start dropping.
but that's, you know you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your hand is by his calf, Casey.
Yeah.
Think about having it behind it. Think about having it across. Instead of having it down fast, having it across.
Now,
Just like
throw
that.
yourself.
Exactly right.
Go ahead. Get some momentum.
I never met there. I lost it.
It's okay. Now, look away. Yeah.
Oh, that's way too
Yeah.
way too high. Way too high. There you go.
There's that quarter.
Yeah.
That quarter.
I think you were starting this top because that one didn't push the heel down at all. That second one? Yeah. That second strand? Yeah.
There.
Yep. Give me a second. I guess there's like kicked up
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good, bro.
Bring it in.
I'm sorry for seeing your eyes.
Oh, you mean you're rolling with that grip? Yes, because you want to have the grip on him. If you're bringing this left arm out, you're giving him an escape from Yeah, I'm not sure like the last he's got your legs look like, but if you're not on the split, then it's going to be loose. So I would recommend because typically when you're making that adjustment, you're making it with this grip. Because you've got this grip now there, you make the adjustment, get deeper, and you will not the entire time that grip is there. Correct. Alright guys. So, Izzy, first class, so the way it works, we line up by belt rank. We start with our highest belts on that end and our lowest belts on that end. It doesn't mean you have to line up the end. You're a white belt, so you three are white belts. Are you still a white belt? Are you really? So you, what's that? So you four are white belt. Yeah, you know, there's promotions coming up. You know that, right? So there's 4 belts, 4 white belts. So you just be anywhere in that group. When we're in the gi, we have stripes on our belts, and sometimes we'll line up belt and stripe order. We don't really care about stripes a whole lot here. Some gyms do, some gyms don't. We don't really care about stripes a whole lot here. They're still important. We just don't put a whole lot of focus on the stripe side of it. All right. Any questions about today? Any questions about the straight ankle defense, the warm-up drills we did, or the straight ankle offense that we did? What you got?
This is odd here, but I felt like when I tried to sit back and we're leg fighting, I felt like while I was leg fighting, I was like, if I can just position myself just a smidgen over to the right or left, I could be in honey hole. How do you do that? Is that possible?
Come on, get a partner. Come on out here.
Okay. Justin, if you don't mind. So, I was here, he was fighting my legs, and he's doing this here, trying to fight, and I was like, if there, because I was trying to grab this leg, but I ended up on this leg. I was like, happy way I can, like, I don't know, like get in the honey hole somehow. Try to, like, I don't know. I know my position has to be from the side of him.
So
I didn't know you.
I'm trying to think of. Now I'm sure there are transitions from everywhere to everywhere, right? I'm sure there's something. If you're in Ashi, in order to get the honey hole, you got to pass this leg to the inside and switch your feet. So yes, it's definitely doable. That's the motion you're looking at. This is Ashi. You would have to pass the foot to the inside, which is, I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but you're definitely giving them space during this transition, so you want to find a way to stay tight. And then you're switching your feet in. What I would probably do is control the far leg with either of my feet in that case during that transition.
The only reason why I was even thinking of that, coach, is because when I tried to do the whole defending against him trying to lock my leg, when you grab his leg and you pull it,
Yeah.
I noticed he kept straightening his leg out.
Yeah.
So that idea kept on going back.
You kept straightening this leg out?
Correct. When I tried to pull his leg to defend, he'll straighten it out so I wouldn't pull it and try to kick out.
Yeah, I mean, so you could kind of lean back, cup, bring it across, and switch your feet, and now you're in honey hole. So yeah, it is right there. You're absolutely right.
I knew it was some sauce. I just couldn't.
You're thinking, your head's working. Any other questions about anything today, or just anything you guys encountered during rolling, or anything else? All right, y'all. Tomorrow's no gi open mat. We'll either drill or roll, whichever you all want to do. Have a good day.
It's good to see you.
I'm not letting you guys get all sweaty.
hurt my leg. I was like, oh.
Yeah, my belly's all wet now. I actually don't need to shower this morning. It's nice.
Dude. Yeah, appreciate you, Brian. Continue again. Continue, Brian. Appreciate you.